She'd just added shrimp to your soup. The dining room smelled of citrus candles and quiet fear. He sat at the head of the table, the millionaire with trembling hands hidden beneath his napkin. The woman beside him smiled too long, the kind of smile that means something is rotting under the silverware. I watched them from across the table. 15. Silent. Invisible. That's the trick. Adults speak freely when they think your voice doesn't matter. He lifted the spoon. Steam curled like secrets escaping. She leaned in, her manicured fingers brushing the edge of his bowl, dropping something that gleamed wet and pale. Shrimp. It sank, without a sound. I saw the hesitation in her wrist, the way her eyes flickered not toward him, but toward me. She knew I saw, and she smiled. When he finally tasted the soup, he froze halfway through the swallow. A faint twitch at the corner of his mouth. A cough that never fully arrived. Her hand reached for his shoulder. Soft. Too soft, I whispered, barely moving my lips. She just added shrimp to your soup. He looked at me then. And in that single quivering second, I saw terror bloom in a man who thought he could never be touched. He had told me once in passing, between investments and wine, that he was fatally allergic to shellfish. He said it like bragging, like death itself had to schedule an appointment to reach him. I never forgot. Neither did she. His wife was younger, sharper. The kind of beauty that measures love in leverage. Her eyes always glittered when the waiters spoke to him first. When his phone vibrated at midnight, she smiled instead of asked. When he mentioned me, the orphan he was mentoring, her smile broke for just a breath too long. Tonight, the lights were low, the air too polished. And her perfume was drowning something metallic. He coughed again quietly. Her hand pressed his back. "Breathe, darling," she said, like the words themselves could scrub guilt off her tongue. I didn't move. Not yet. I stared at the shrimp curling inside his spoon, watched his throat tighten, saw her knuckles turn white against the tablecloth. The silence stretched. Too long. Too careful. She thought no one saw. But I saw everything. The glass of wine she'd handed him first. The extra napkin she'd placed beneath his plate. The pill bottle hidden in her purse, its label torn clean. Her act wasn't passion, it was preparation. And when she realized through the open door, I heard water running. Then silence. Then the low scrape of metal against glass. She was washing the soup bowl. Alone. At midnight. I slipped from my chair. My bare feet knew how to disappear. I moved closer. She hummed something tuneless, cold. A hymn maybe. On the counter, a plastic container, open. Shrimp tails inside. Next to it, an empty pill capsule. Clear. Small. Deliberate. Her hands trembled as she rinsed the bowl again. Like she could wash away the intent. When she turned, I was standing in the doorway. She didn't flinch, just stared. "You shouldn't be up," she said softly. Her eyes were ocean-deep dark, endless and dishonest. "I couldn't sleep," I murmured. She nodded, then tilted her head, studying me like a puzzle missing a corner. "Sometimes, sweet girl," she said, "men choke on their own appetites." Her tone was calm, practiced, the kind of calm that hides crime beneath elegance. I wanted to ask why she married him, why she stayed, why she killed. But I didn't. Silence was my weapon. When she left the kitchen, I touched the bowl. Cold, clean, perfect. The shrimp tails were gone by morning. So was her perfume. 2 days later, the house was filled with reporters. The official story: allergic reaction. Tragic. Sudden. No one questioned the widow who wept too beautifully. But grief didn't echo right in that house. It whispered wrong. She poured tea for me, her hands steady. "Do you miss him?" she asked. I looked at the steam rising and said nothing. That night, while she slept, I crept into his study. The room smelled like money and dust. His phone blinked once on the desk. One missed call. One voicemail. From her. Her voice, recorded only an hour before dinner. The shrimp will do it quickly. He won't suffer. You'll have what we agreed. Just make sure the will's clean. Another voice followed a man's. Calm. Professional. Half now, half after confirmation. I replayed it once. Twice. Until my breath turned to glass in my throat. She hadn't done it for freedom. She'd done it for profit. The next morning, she smiled again, as if I waited 3 days. Long enough for her to believe silence meant safety. When she invited the lawyer for lunch, I sat beside her again. Just like the night he died. Same table. Same scent. Different ending. He arrived, all cologne and caution. She served soup. Not shrimp this time. But I watched her hands anyway. He opened the folder. The estate transfer is complete. Her eyes glimmered. Good. Then he paused. There's a clause, he said. Unusual but binding. Her smile thinned. What clause? He looked toward me, the quiet girl with her hands folded neatly on her lap. She inherits 10%, he said. Under the mentorship clause. His final addition. Her hand froze around the spoon. The lawyer continued. She also has digital access to his private accounts. All voice records are archived. Silence fell. It was heavier than death. Her eyes met mine, desperate, searching for mercy. She found none. I leaned forward, whisper soft. I think you dropped something. Her gaze darted to the soup bowl. Nothing there, just reflection. But she knew. The shrimp wasn't poison. Her guilt was. Weeks passed. She moved out, slow and trembling. The press called her the grieving widow. But her eyes were haunted by something only I could see. She knew I had the recording. She knew I could destroy her. But I never did. Silence was enough. Sometimes I visit his study at night. The phone still sits on the desk screen, dark, secret, sleeping. I never play the message anymore. I don't need to. Justice doesn't always sound like sirens. Sometimes it's a whisper at a dinner table. I think about the moment he looked at me. That last flicker of realization. He wasn't scared of dying. He was scared of knowing who truly wanted him gone. Now I sit in the same chair, watching the same empty bowl, and every time I breathe, I taste the faint trace of shrimp in the air. Like memory, like revenge. Some truths don't need to be shouted. They just need to be tasted once.